back to my channel. I hope that you're doing well. Welcome to another video and welcome back to another monthly TBR. What the heck? What the heck is happening? How is this year going by so fast already? It's already February of 2025 and it feels like January just flew by, and I am just quite certainly not ready for the rest of the year to just zoom on by. But I am excited for February's TBR, the month of love, Black History Month, and of course, Romcom Swoonathon. And of course, during this month, I will be playing TBR Tarot to pick my books for the month of February. If you have never seen a TBR Tarot video from me, what I do is I use the Fairy Loot Tarot cards that come in every YA box. Each card is assigned to a prompt, and I use that prompt to pick a book off of my TBR. Very simple, very easy, not much to it. There are plenty of other people that do TBR Tarot before me and after me. I will leave a playlist down below of other people that do this type of video if you would like to go check that out, as well as a playlist of all of the videos that I've done at TBR Tarot. Since I started doing that about a year and a half ago, the playlist will be linked down below. I do have some things to talk about before we get into my actual tarot pulls, so I will leave a timestamp down below if you would like to skip ahead to the pulling of the TBR or the wrap up for January, so you can figure out if I'm getting a punishment or reward. All the timestamps will be linked down below. But let's talk about the month of February as a whole and what my plans are, things that I need to be expecting and getting done before the month is over. So of course we have Romcom Swoonathon. Romcom Swoonathon is a readathon hosted the entire month of February, hosted by myself and my besties, Dana and Karina. It's put on by our book club, our romance book club, the Swoony Readers. And in the month of February, we do a month-long readathon with a bingo board and lots of fun festivities. We have reading sprints every week, as well as some pop-up sprints. We have a movie watching session every Saturday to watch our favorite rom-coms that are also represented on the bingo board. And then we're doing a 24-hour readathon in the middle of the readathon as a way to motivate us to get some reading done. And while I have you here for the 24-hour readathon, some of the slots have moved around for channels, so just so you know. Okay, besties, let me just clear up what my sleep-deprived and half a brain cell mind could not clearly depict to you. But as you can see on the itinerary, the change of the slots has changed for the 24-hour readathon. It will start on Karina's channel on the 15th, then it will hop over to my channel after 8 hours, and then the next 8-hour block will end on Dana's channel for the conclusion of the 24-hour readathon. I apologize for the confusion, but this brain was not working at full capacity. I will leave the itinerary up on the screen so you can see the time slots and the 8-hour blocks if you need the times so that you can put it in there. But of course, it's always on the Discord, and we'll update it on the Instagram stories as well. But I just wanted to make sure if you wanted to participate in the 24-hour readathon, some stuff has changed. So make sure you stay on top of the Discord and the Instagram to see any updates or changes throughout the month. I will also, of course, leave the announcement videos for the Romcom Swoonathon down below if you would like to get more details, as well as the full bingo board, so you can get up to date with all Romcom Swoonathon information. In February, I've also been asked to be a guest for Thrills and Chills, which I'm so excited. I literally cannot wait to be a part of this month. I'm so blessed and honored that Dana asked me to co-host for the month of February, and I'm just so freaking excited. The other guest host for the month of February is also Jasmine, so of course I will leave her link down below as well. So in February, we're reading a new Kate Alice Marshall book, which I loved the last book I read by Kate Alice Marshall, so I'm excited to pick up her newest release. The book is called A Killing Cold, and I'm going to be real honest with you. I know nothing about this book, and I did that on purpose. I like to go into my thriller books very blind just because I tend to be skewed by the synopsis of thriller books, so I want my next Kate Alice Marshall book to go the best as it can. I want the best possible outcome, so I'm going to keep myself in the dark for this one, but I am very excited, and I will leave the Goodreads description down below if you guys want to go check it out and read more about the book to see if you're interested in reading it with us. We will be having reading sprints on the 16th at 5 p.m. EST and 2 p.m. PST on Dana's channel. And then the live show for A Killing Cold will be on Dana's channel at 7 EST and 4 p.m. PST. Hopefully my math all worked out there. I'm really bad with the time frame conversions. Okay, I think that's everything that I wanted to talk about at the beginning of the video. Any other obligation reads that I don't fit onto my TBR for the month of February, I'll talk about at the end. But let's go ahead and talk about how I did in January, whether or not I'm taking a punishment or a reward, and then we'll get into my pulls for my TBR jars, and then of course the tarot pulls for February. So for the Page of Suns, I was supposed to read Gold by Raven Kennedy, and I did read this. For the Knight of Moons, I was supposed to read The Sacrifice, and I did read this. For the Seven of Pentacles, I was supposed to read The Silent Waters by Brittany C. Cherry, and I did read this. For the Nine of Moons, I was supposed to read A Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez, and I did read this. For the Lovers, I chose to read Help Me Remember by Corinne Michaels, and I did read this. For the Tower, I was supposed to read Study in Drowning by Ava Reed, and I did read this. For the Nine of Stars, I was supposed to read Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros, and of course I did read this. I did a non-spoilery vlog for it in the cards above if you want to go check that out, but I definitely had a great time with this read. And then for the King of Pentacles, I was supposed to reread Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, and I did read this. And finally, for the Night of Stars, I was supposed to read the Book of Azrael, and I did read this. Okay, so as you can clearly see, I did read every book that I was supposed to read on my TBR for the month of January, so I do get to get a reward. So let's go ahead and pick my reward for the month. Hopefully it's a good one. Oh, two fell out, but we're going to go with this one. It is YouTube night, which is perfect because my watch later is getting out of control once again. I feel like at this point, there's just no winning. There's no winning with the freaking watch later. I get it down and then it goes back up. So hopefully I can spend a night just watching YouTube, although I do have a lot of reading plans in February. So we'll see how well that goes. Okay, so I'm picking from a new jar this month. This is a jar filled with genres. In December and January, when everyone was putting out their best of 2024 videos, I was writing down every single submission and keeping a tally of them, seeing what everyone was loving, and I want to pick out a genre every single month and read a book from that genre that was recommended by a booktuber. And usually I'd pick out two, but February is a busy month, so I'm going to just pick out one genre and pick one book. But I definitely want to start using this throughout the year, and then in March you'll see a full video of me reading booktuber favorites, so stay tuned for that. But let's go ahead and just reach on in and get one. Hopefully I get a good one, because there's some in here that I really, 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 really don't want. Okay. It's sci-fi. Oh my god, what is going on with my voice today? I think I just need some water, but it's sci-fi. It could be worse, but it could be better. I'm being honest. It could be better. So let's see what I have in the sci-fi category. Hopefully it's also written by a Black author. Possibly, maybe. We'll see. I'm stressed. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is definitely outside of my comfort zone, but I've heard such great things that I think maybe I want to give it a go. And that is Parable of Soar by Octavia E. Butler. I have been wanting to pick this up for a while. It's definitely a classic in the sci-fi genre, and I feel like I'm just missing out just a little bit by not having read this book. It's written by a Black author, it's perfect for Black History Month, and it's a sci-fi, so it fits for the prompt, and I feel as though it was a win. A win's a win. I did have to go get my water because my voice sounds like a prepubescent teenage boy, so that's just unacceptable business. Let me put this back and we will pull two more next month, and then of course we have to do my subscription box and pre-order incentive jar. Just a lot of jars these days, but I do want to make sure that I read at least two of these, so let's see if we get a good one. We have, oh boy, the Atlas Complex, which is great because I'm reading the Atlas Paradox actually as we speak, so I'd be finishing up a series, but that was not on my 2025 bingo card. It's fine. It's fine. What's the last one? Devious Lies. Did I already read this? Oh, this is by Parker S. Huntington, and I already read a book by this author, and I hated it, so we're in for a wild ride. Okay, so we have the Atlas Complex, the third book in the Atlas series. Of course, it's also the thickest book in the series, so let's hope that I can get through book 2, and then if not, I guess I have one less book I need to read in February because I don't want to push myself through a book I'm not going to enjoy. But I'm not going to read the synopsis because it is book 3. The first book is a dark academia witchy story. 6 people go into the Alexandria Society, only 5 are supposed to come out, and it's definitely an interesting read. It's pretentious, it's hard to get into, it's very wordy, but I did really love the characters, so I'm interested to see what I think of book 2, and hopefully I can get around to book 3. And then as for Devious Lies, like I said, I did just read a book by this author. It was a co-written book with LJ Shen. It was My Dark Romeo. Ooh, I hated that book, so we'll see how she does on her own. Out of all the lies, my favorite was You and Me. Okay. I'm not excited. I could have picked a bunch of different ones, but it's okay. It's okay. We're just going to push through and pretend like I'm not dying inside. Hopefully I can fit those onto any of the prompts I pull for this month. If not, I'm hoping to read books by Black authors, and then I will share my Romcom Swoonathon TBR at the end of this video. Okay, I'm just doing a rough shuffle, a very rough shuffle, and let's get into pull number 1. I'm nervous. I'm so nervous. We have Strength. Also, let me just quickly explain the rules for the pulls. If I get a back-to-back Major Arcana card, a back-to-back number, or a back-to-back suit, I do have to pull an extra card. If I pull a prompt from last month, I also have to pick an extra card. We're starting with 8, and let's figure out what Strength is. Strength is to read a book with a strong female lead. And I feel like I definitely have some options of books I wanted to read this month anyway, so let's just see what I want. I can definitely pick Bloodmark. It's definitely written about a very strong female lead, which we love to see. I'm assuming Sleep Like Death also is going to have a strong female lead. My feelings would probably be the same about Immortal Dark after reading the synopsis of this. So I feel like I have options. I could also do Down to My Soul by Kennedy Ryan. I think that any of those honestly really work for this. I think what I'm going to do though is pick Bloodmarked by Tracy Deonn. Did I literally have to take out every single book in order to get this book out? Yes, I did. But I'm very excited to get around to the sequel of Legendborn. I read it when it came out, right when it came out, and then I reread it in order to get around to book 2, and I still haven't done so. So this is the perfect excuse to get around to book 2. I'm very excited. This is a Arthurian legend retelling with some very interesting and unique magic that I really enjoyed, and I just really love the characters and the romance and the world as a whole. So I'm very excited to get around it to book 2, and hopefully I love it because book 3 is coming out relatively soon, and I would love to pick it up and finish up the series sooner rather than later. Okay, let's get around to pull number 2. I get stressed every time I pull one. We have the Fool, which is of course a back-to-back major arcana card, which means we're pulling 9 pulls instead of 8. The Fool is to read a second chance romance, and I think I know what I'm going to pick, but let me see if I have any other options. I think The Gravity of Us might also be a second chance. The one I was thinking of was Down to My Soul by Kennedy Ryan, or even not Be Mine Forever, but the other book, the second book in the series, Always and Forever. I don't know what it's called. It's green. I'll put the picture up on the screen. It's wrapped up in my wrapped up pile over there, but that definitely is categorized as second chance. So I'm glad that I'm having options. This feels good, and they're books written by Black authors, so I'm thriving. Okay, after reading the synopsis of The Gravity of Us, this is not giving second chance romance. However, I think I would categorize Down to My Soul second chance just because of how the ending of the first book left off, and so I'm going to count it. I don't know if that's cheating or not, but it's my game, my rules. I'm going to stretch it to fit this prompt because I want to read books by Black authors anyways, and I need to get to the end of Kennedy Ryan's backlist. I didn't love the first book in the series, but I am very excited to finally pick it back up again and hopefully finish up the series. I have this one and Refrain, and I will be done with the series, and then the couple more books in this series, and I will be done with Kennedy Ryan's backlist. So very important to me to get this one read. This is Kai and Risan's story. We met them in the Grip trilogy, which I love. It's one of my favorite series of all time, still being one of my favorite books of all time, and I cannot wait to get around to this one. Hopefully I enjoy it more than the first book. Okay, pull number 3 out of now 9. Let's hope it only stays at 9. That would be great. Okay, we have the 9 of Suns. Listen to me when I say this. This could not be working out better. It couldn't be working out better, and I'm so freaking excited. The 9 of Suns is to read a book with a character that looks like me. Yes. I'm so freaking excited. I am going to not even look at my TBR cart because there's a book that I want to put on this TBR just because I want to shout out how beautiful this cover is. And when I say like, oh, this character looks like me, this looks nothing like me. This person on this cover is way too beautiful to even be compared to me, but you get the gist. Rhythms Blues. Feast your eyes. It's stunning. It's stunning. I am so excited. The moment that I saw this cover, I was like, yeah, I need to read that immediately. It does have an audiobook, so I'm going to listen to the audiobook of this. This will be my first Kimberly Brown, so I'm hoping that I love it so I can go and read her entire backlist. And overall, I'm just so happy to get to put it on this list. Do I know anything about it? No. I read the synopsis one time, saw the cover, and I was like, I need it. It doesn't matter. It's a standalone. I know that. I'm using it for my standalone prompt on the Romcom Swoonathon at bingo board, but other than that, I'm going in pretty blind. Pull number 4. Let's do from the top. We have the... what is that? The 6 of Moons. Okay, the 6 of Moons is a viewer recommendation. So I do a video once a year where I list out my entire owned TBR, and I ask you guys to pick books off of my list that you want me to read. So let me go do a scroll through those comments. Usually I would randomize it, but I want to have a little bit more control over my TBR this month. But let me have a scroll through and see what has been recommended, and I'll pick it up from there. Okay, so none of the comments in that video recommended a book by a Black author. So I'm going to pick the one that was recommended the most, which was the Mindfuck series by St. Abbey, which is very interesting. I think I got recommendations for that from Tiff's Bookshelf. I got another recommendation from Bex over at Bex X Reads, and one other person mentioned it. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, no, it was just those 2 people. It was the most recommended, though, of the recommendations here, so I'm going to do that. The good thing is I'm only requiring myself to read 1 more novella in this series, which means it's a short book that I can put on my TBR. It's not too long. It's not written by a Black author, but it should be quick, and I'm sure I can fit it in for something on the bingo board if I really needed to squeeze in an extra book. However, I'm still planning to read fully Black authors for my bingo board, so we'll see. And then as for this, if you've never heard of this, this is a dark romance between a serial killer and the FBI agent that is assigned to her case. So I'm excited to get around to novella number 3. I don't know what it's called. I liked the first 2. I might have to reread the first 2 if I'm being honest, but I'm excited to get back to these. Okay, pull number 5. Let's do a quick little shuffle and do it from the bottom. We have the 5 of Suns. Okay, the 5 of Moons is to read a book that is a new release. Now, I do have some options. I have some on here that are new releases. I could do like the re-release of some of these authors that were self-published. That could totally work. Or even like The Striker by Anna Huang, that is her newest release. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a book that I'm using for my buzzword, which is Somewhere Beyond the Sea by TJ Klune. This is his newest release in the House in the Cerulean Sea series, and I'm very excited to get around to this. This does have a water word in the title as well as a skyline, so it fits for both of my buzzword prompts for this month, and I wanted to read it. It's on my 25 and 2025. It's not by a Black author, but it does have some incredible representation, so I'm making up in other ways. My TBR is going off the rails a little bit, but hopefully I can pick it back up with the next one. Okay, pull number 6. We have the Queen of Stars. Okay, the Queen of Stars is to read a fantasy book. I have options. I don't know which one I want to pick. I have Sleep Like Death by Kaylanisimplyme, Immortal Dark. I'm not going to try to pronounce that author's name because I'm going to absolutely ruin it, but I do have that one. Then I also have Binding Shadows by Jasmine Silvera, which I picked up at Steamy LitCon last year, and I think that's what I'm going to go with. It is an eyeball book, but I have been trying to read my Kindle every single day. It's literally my goal to read my Kindle book every single day, and this is going to be on my Kindle, so I figured, why not just put it on? Even though I do want to get to both of these, I just don't know if it's necessarily important that I get to them right now, although Sleep Like Death is on my TBR for this month. So I'm going to go with Binding Shadows. It's already on my TBR. I want to put it on my Kindle, and it'll be one of my Kindle reads. It does deal with like book magic. I really don't know too much more than that. Book magic and a werewolf shifter. I don't know. I think it's like teacher and like library assistant romance with a fantasy backdrop. So hopefully I like it. It is written by a Black author that I met at Steamy LitCon, and she was so sweet and so kind. So hopefully it's a good one. Okay, we're moving into the home stretch. Pull number 7 of 9. We have, what is it? What is it? Tell me. It is the 7 of Suns. Okay, the 7 of Suns is going to be a more difficult prompt. It is last letter, first letter, so I have to pick the last letter of the last book, which is S, and the next book that I pick needs to start with an S. So, do I have anything on my TBR that starts with an S? I do have Sleep Like Death by Kaylanisimplyme. I could definitely do that. Or, I could pick something that's on my bingo board for Romcom Swoonathon. Let's see, what do I have? We have Sunny Disposition, that starts with an S. I also have Sweet Hand, that starts with an S. So I have 3 options. Do I want to pick the one on my TBR, or do I want to pick an ebook? I do have to read Sleep Like Death anyways. It's on my TBR for Romcom Swoonathon, so I might as well just take something off that's actually on my physical TBR and put it on here. Sleep Like Death by Kaylanisimplyme. I don't have super high hopes for this book, only because I have read 2 books by this author, and I didn't really love either one. And this is another retelling, so that doesn't bode well for my love of this book, but I am excited to get around to it. Hopefully I like it. The back says, Cinderella is dead, but Snow White fights on. I don't know if this is an exact continuation of her Cinderella one, which was, I can't remember the name of it. I'll put it up on the screen. Oh, it's called Cinderella is Dead. Cinderella is Dead, but I don't know if it's in the same world. I didn't love that one, but hopefully her writing has improved and I like this one even more. I really don't know anything about it other than the fact that it is a Snow White retelling. Okay, pull number 8, what should have been our last pull, but it is not. Alas that is not. Pull number 8. I'm nervous. The 7 of Pentacles. Okay, the 7 of Pentacles was from last month, and it's a random emoji generator. I hate this prompt. I don't know why I put this in here. Not only do I have to do another poll, but I also have to do a freaking random emoji generator, and I really, with every fiber of my being, do not want to do this. I am screen recording. I hope, cross my fingers. And I'm going to randomly generate an emoji 3 times. I always do it 3 times, and hope that I can find something that's even close to whatever it randomizes for me. So ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. The play button? Girl, what does it even mean? Something that has to do with the game? I mean, I do have Good Game by Madison Fox. Oh, actually, damn it, I thought that was gonna work, but it's not. Gosh darn it. Okay, let me see. Oh, I'm such an idiot. I am such an idiot. I have a perfect thing. Bet on It by Jodie Slaughter, the group book for Romcom Swoonathon. Duh, it's about bingo. Bingo is part of a game. I feel like this totally works. Okay, so I'm interpreting the play button as a game, and it definitely fits for the bingo aspect of Bet On It. I'm excited to get around to this. I don't know too much. It's supposed to be an emotional rom-com with some smutty aspects. All I really know and really want to find out is the bingo-based sex pact. Please and thank you. I need this in my life. I need this. We will be having our live show on the 21st at 7:30 EST, 7:30 EST, and 4:30 PST. I never get it right. I never get it right. But I'm very excited to read this and chat with you guys. If you are participating in Romcom Swoonathon, this also fits for several prompts on the board, and I just cannot wait to finally pick this one up. Also, while I was looking over these cards, I just realized that the 7 and the 7 mean back-to-back pulls, so I'm actually up to 11. So not only was it a duplicate pull from last month, but it was also a duplicate number. So I'm up to 11 pulls. It's fine. It's totally fine. Okay, pull number 9 out of 11. Yay, me! We have the Knight of Pentacles. Shut up. That's a back-to-back suit. Does that mean I have to do another one? Oh my god. What is going on? Okay, this is to read a book for a video idea. The only videos I plan on filming for the month of February is to film Romcom Swoonathon stuff. So I could literally put any book in for that. And because I have the opportunity to do so, I'm just going to pull Be Mine Forever by Kennedy Ryan, the 3rd book in the Bennett series. It fits for the prompt. I'm going to be reading it in a video at some point in the month of February, so it fits. This is the 3rd book in a series. The 1st book, I don't really remember the synopsis. I know it was a love triangle. I know that it had some interesting tropes. It had a cheating trope, which I never expected Kennedy Ryan to write. I didn't love the 1st book in that series alongside the Souls trilogy, but I want to finish it. So I'm putting on the 3rd book, even though I still need to read the 2nd book, but it's on my TBR for the month anyway, so it's fine. But let's go ahead and just pull number 10. What are we on? 10 of 12? Oh, Jesus. I'm about to quit. Pull number 10. The Page of Pentacles. The Pentacles now have a reset. So if I don't get another back-to-back Pentacle, another Pentacle, I don't have to pull another one. So we're still at 12, but enough with the Pentacles. We're done. Okay, the Page of Pentacles is a Kindle Unlimited read. I have a lot of those on my TBR for this month. I need to get some stuff read on my Kindle anyways. Like I said, I'm trying to read every day, and I'll definitely finish Biting Shadows before the end of the month. So I could do The Gravity of Us by Brittany C. Cherry. All of her books in this series are on KU. I don't know if Yours Truly is on KU, but I do need to read that this month. But I know for a fact that Maid is also on KU. It's by J.L. Laura. I met this author at Simi LitCon, and I do really want to read this one. This is a kind of like a darker, almost mafia romantic suspense. And I'm excited to get around to it. It's technically the 2nd book in a series, but they're interconnected standalones. So I'm excited to get around to this one, and it is on KU. So I think I'm going to pick this one. I plan on reading it anyways, so it definitely makes sense for the vibes. For the vibes. Did I miscount? Do I only have to pull 11, not 12? Because I did 7 and 7. That's a duplicate, so that would make it, what, 9? Plus the extra pull from last month, so 10. Plus back-to-back Pentacles, which is 11. I think I only have 11 pulls. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're pull number 10 of 11. I don't know how I got 12, but thank God. Thank God. Pull number 10. Maybe I just jinxed it, though. The High Priestess. Okay, the High Priestess is to read a booktuber fave. I am going to cheat a little bit because I need to read this book anyways for the month of February. We are doing a read-along with Tara, B, Karina, and Dana. I will leave them all linked down below. For the Abby Jimenez read-along, we're doing all of Abby Jimenez's backlist, and it's time to read Yours Truly. This was on several people's favorites of the year list in 2024, so it definitely counts for a booktuber fave. I've already read this book, but I need to read it for this month, so I'm going to use it as an opportunity to slip it into my TBR. Also, the live show for Yours Truly is on the 2nd of February, so I absolutely have to get it done because I have to. I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. But I'm very excited to get this one read. I love this book so much when I read it the first time, and I cannot wait. This is like fake dating, emotional with a beautiful, wonderful, incredible anxiety rep on the male main character side, and oh my gosh, just so beautiful. It's so emotional. It's so amazing, and I cannot wait to do my reread. Okay, as long as I don't get a pull from last month or another major arcana card, we're done. Thank the Lord in heaven above. Okay, pull number 11. The Two of Suns. And finally, No Other Duplicates, The Two of Suns is a seasonal read. So I need to read something that is still feeling wintry, but I want it to fit into my TBR. Oh, that's hard. That's tough. What am I gonna do? Oh, well, I can do seasonal, as in Valentine's Day. Romance, right? Does that count? Does that work? I could literally pick anything off of my TBR that I wanted to read that I already need to read. I am going to make this work for me. So if I'm picking anything off of my list that I don't already have here, I think I'm just going to put the next book in the Souls trilogy on my list because I need to read it. And like I said, I want to get my TBR down. So I'm going to pick Refrain by Kennedy Ryan, the third and final book in the Souls trilogy. It's novella, it's short. I'm excited. That's it. That's my freaking TBR. I still have to run through my TBR for Romcom Swoonathon, so I'm so sorry. This video is so long, but let's go ahead and run through that and we'll do a recap of my TBR for the month of February. Okay, I'm going to put the bingo board up on the screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about, and I'm going to quickly run through the books I'm going to read for each prompt. But for Workplace, I'm going to be reading Outdrawn by Deanna Gray. For Friends to Lovers, I'm reading Untouchable by Sean. For Young Adult, I am reading Bloodmarked by Tracy Dion. For audiobook, I'm going to listen to Refrain by Kennedy Ryan. For mental health rep, I'm using the group book Bet On It by Jody Slaughter. For sports romance, I'm using Implicit Consent by Casey Mills. For yellow on the cover, I'm picking up Sunny Disposition by Deanna Gray. For Marriage of Convenience, I'm going to be reading Let Me Free You by Alexandria House. For the spicy prompt, I'm using Made by J.L. Laura. For mixed media, I will be listening to the audiobook and reading along the physical book of Sleep Like Death by Kaylin Bayron. For school setting, I'll be picking up Amari and the Great Game by B.B. Alston. For bookish, I'm going to be reading Binding Shadows by Jasmine Silvera. For city setting, I'm going to be reading Down to My Soul by Kennedy Ryan. For secrets, I'm picking up Be Mine Forever by Kennedy Ryan. For new author, I'll be reading Only for the Week by Natasha Bishop. For love triangle, I'll be picking up Loving You Always by Kennedy Ryan. For standalone, I'll be using Rhythms Blues by Kimberly Brown. For enemies to lovers, I'll be using Pulling Doubles by Christina C. Jones. For wedding, I'll be using Sweet Hand by N.G. Peltier. And finally, for fake dating, I'm going to be using Make a Scene by Mimi Grace. And if that long TBR wasn't enough, the only book that I have not put on this TBR that I need to read in the month of February is Muse of Nightmares by Laini Taylor. That is the last and final book for the Laini Taylor read-along that we're doing with Dana, Karina, and Lindsay. Of course, I will leave them linked down below. We did an entire read-along of Laini Taylor's backlist, and Muse of Nightmares is the last one, and the final book in the Strange the Dreamer duology. So definitely need to read that. The live show is set for the first weekend of March, if I'm not mistaken. I'll put the time and date on the screen. I don't want to mess it up, but I do need to read that before the month is over as well. Okay, let's do a quick recap. For strong female lead, I'm picking up Bloodmarked by Tracy Dion. For second chance romance, I'll be reading Down to My Soul by Kennedy Ryan. For viewer recommendations, I'm reading the novella in the Mindfuck series by S.T. Abbey. For a character that looks like me, I'm going to be reading Rhythms Blues by Kimberly Brown. For a new release, I'm picking up Somewhere Beyond the Sea by TJ Klune. For fantasy, I'll be reading Binding Shadows by Jasmine Silvera. For Last Letter, First Letter, I'll be reading Sleep Like Death by Kaylin Bayron. For a random emoji generator, I'll be reading Bet On It by Jody Slaughter. For a video idea, I'm reading Be Mine Forever by Kennedy Ryan. For a Kindle Unlimited read, I'm reading Made by J.L. Laura. For a booktuber favorite, I'm reading Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. And finally, for a seasonal read, I'm reading Refrain by Kennedy Ryan. Alright, that is everything. That is my entire TBR for the month of February. I hope that you enjoyed this very long and convoluted video. I apologize for the length. If you are participating in the Romcom Swoonathon for the month of February, feel free to tag us in TBR's vlogs, pictures on Instagram. Of course, you can share everything that you would like to share in the Discord or on Instagram stories or just to us privately if you're not comfortable sharing on socials. But we can't wait to see what you guys are reading, how you guys are doing, how you guys achieve your bingos, and we are just so excited to spend an entire month of February with each and every one of you. I also hope to see you at the A Killing Cold live show, the Part of Your World live show, and the Muse of Nightmares live show, all happening in the month of February and March. If you've read any of the books I talked about today and want to leave your thoughts, feel free to do that down below. Also, feel free to share with me what you're reading in February, the month of love, and Black History Month. If you made it to the end and know anything else to comment, leave any romantic emoji. I love you so much. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure to give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. And of course, leave any comments, questions, suggestions in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video. Bye!
Baby, turn it down like it's sweet and ready.